Tower of God. What are irregulars? So what's up guys, Foxen here. Hope you've been enjoying the mysteries of Tower of God. Today let's talk about irregulars. Why exactly are they important to the story? And don't worry, this video is more like an overview. I'm not going to go into the spoiler details, so no need to worry. So go ahead and smash that like if you like Tower of God, and let's dive into this. What exactly is an irregular? First off, in the world of Tower of God, almost 100% of people start off as regulars climbing the tower. These people are chosen by that trusty looking fellow named Hedon. You could think of this guy as being the guardian of the first floor, and a general caretaker of the tower. What makes him really special is how he could teleport to any of the 100+ floors when picking out regulars. An irregular is someone like Bam who was not chosen by Hedon. Two important differences here. One, these irregulars actually weren't born inside of the tower, they were born outside. At this point, very little is known about outside. Two, these irregulars got into the tower on their own, or more specifically, the tower chose them. The true purpose of an irregular is to bring some type of change to the tower. There's something that the tower needs, perhaps completely changing or challenging those in power. In this case, the current power being King Jahad. Getting into a few irregular Oni benefits or advantages. They could actually use Shinzo without any association with the floor guardian. You actually saw hints of this when Bam used Shinzo after getting attacked. That was not the Black March. Irregulars also naturally have high resistance to Shinzo, although this isn't something uniquely to them. Princess Yuri, for example, also has high Shinzo resistance. Irregulars happen to be the only ones that could make a direct request to be tested by the floor guardians. In other words, they could skip any of the test shenanigans by the floor admin. It has also been hinted at that being an irregular makes you immune or gives you high resistance to spells, and also vice versa allows you to break spells, although I do want to stress further clarification is still needed. And this is a fun one. So far, all irregulars have been at the top 10 for high rankers. Naturally, Bam right now isn't anywhere close to that. Getting into the list of all irregulars, starting with Bam. So you got the Tower of God main character. Actually, before Bam, there hadn't been another irregular for quite some time, perhaps thousands of years. At the start of the anime, you saw Bam before those colossal tower gates opening up. This was the tower choosing Bam. And it seems like quite a lot of people know or have sensed Bam being special. Throughout the Tower of God story, he's always being described as being this chosen one, or the one destined for this grand fate. Next up, Jahad, also known as King Jahad, which is a person at the top ruling everything. You don't actually get to meet him in Tower of God until much later, but you definitely seen the symbols of Jahad floating around. Keep a lookout on the 3 red eyes. Just skipping over major spoiler details. Jahad originally entered the tower before anything you've seen in the anime had been established. With Jahad technically came the other 10 great family leaders, also irregulars. Jahad combined with those leaders conquered the tower. Sometime later, Jahad eventually made himself king of everything. Technically, Jahad should be the strongest, or rather the top ranked person, but this almost godlike being spends most of his time inactive in his castle at the very top. You'll find out later why. Unsurprisingly, King Jahad has established multiple levels of protection to not only keep himself in power, but also prevent possible threats. Next irregular, Yurik Mazino. This rapper looking buff dude is an irregular, personally one of my favorites. I can't wait to see him in Tower of God Season 2. Unfortunately, the Tower of God anime did cut out any mention of Yurik's name, but they did foreshadow him, including a back shot of him. Yurik is infamously known for that winged tree tattoo on his back, which is actually the symbol for this organization he's a part of. This group is one that even the 10 great families are cautious of. As for Yurik's ability, this guy is a freaking monster. For a quick comparison, when this guy appears in the story, it'd be similar as if Beerus appeared in front of Goku at the start of Dragon Ball. Suppose the Yurik entered the Tower of God since he was tracking this guy called Phantaminum. In this grand quest, Yurik actually managed to climb and reach the top of the tower in only 50 years. Or at least he reached what is considered the top. And that may not sound as impressive, but a good chunk of people will take hundreds if not thousands of years normally. Most people never make it. Next irregular, Enryu. This is one of the most mysterious characters in Tower of God, and there's a good chunk. He's actually an irregular mentioned early on. Unfortunately, the anime cut out the name. Enryu's name is actually mentioned several times throughout the series. It wouldn't be until years later that you found out how big of a deal the guy is. Not only is the guy famous from coming into the tower from the outside, the guy completely murdered and destroyed the guardian of this later floor. He then proceeded to wipe out anyone on the entire floor. This is how Enryu gained the title Guardian Murderer. Next irregular, Phantaminum. Technically also the #1 ranker. This guy's actually the reason that the floor test you've seen in the anime even exists. Previously, Phantaminum somehow managed to invade Jaha's castle. He then somehow managed to kill off some of Jaha's best high-level rankers. This event eventually ended with him facing off against King Jaha, but he disappeared without a fight. Pretty much everyone there besides the king died, so this whole invasion is shrouded in mystery. Supposedly during this Jaha castle invasion, he did run into Yuri but didn't kill her. The anime has hinted at the reason that they're actually testing is to spot any potential threat to the tower early on. Potentially these type of tests could have prevented the Phantaminum disaster. Although let's be honest, it probably wouldn't have. Phantaminum has really only been mentioned in Season 1 of Tower of God. Let's see if the anime actually includes his Jaha invasion feat. Getting into the special blonde, Rachel. Not getting into the spoilers for her. Rachel can be seen as being at the opposite end of what irregulars are supposed to be. You heard me talk about how irregulars are chosen by the tower itself. Rachel was not picked out by Hedon. On the other hand, technically the tower did not choose her either. Still, the fact remains that Rachel came from the outside. And yes, it is weird since you see Rachel disappearing ahead of Bam. A bit later, you see the tower gates being shown to open, which does confirm Rachel is someone who came from the outside of the tower. But it almost feels like it was an accident. The tower chose Bam, the gates opened for Bam, and it just happened that Rachel was the one to hitch a ride. The significance of this will be revealed later in the Tower of God anime. Anyway, if you enjoyed and want to see more, definitely hit that like. More Tower of God videos coming, maybe weekly. Got any question? Definitely ask below. Who knows, it may inspire future Tower of God videos. Check out my latest videos, and I'll see you guys later.